Dominic Stricker. That one no supposed to struck you because for tennis, if you know hold your side, better thing could happen to you. Then Rude, 5th seed, lost last year's runner-up, lost 4-6, 7-5. 5-2, 6-0, 2-6 to Chinese world number 67, Zhang Zizhen. Second seed Novak Djokovic cruised through with 64-61, 6-1 win over Spain's Zapata Miralles. Djokovic, who is aiming for a record equaling 24 major titles as an talker, and because the young man, the guy they really fired, was already the favorite to reach the final. But then, say most times they're going to talk about who will be the favorite, but then we get a whole lot of things that could happen for you for front. Just like Tsitsipas and Ruud Kasper been noticed. Now, they say for the part where Djokovic supposed pass to reach the final, say a lot of players dey there where they wait for them for front. Where they say people who don't waka comot na Tsitsipas, Ruud, and Danish 4th seed where be Holger Rune. These were the people where they pack themselves comot for early round. But then we still believe say Djokovic will play in compatriot in the person of Laslo Djere on Friday for a place in the last 16. The young man talks say, say he feel good, say he feel better to be back playing in New York because of that issue where he been get some time ago. Djokovic said he don't win 3 Flushing Meadows titles and say he believes say he gets strength, even though say in the 36 years, say he still feel the strength and the desire and the hunger to play many more tennis for this court. Well, he say every single match where he play for year, he very, very special. Say for him mind, say if he win this battle, then he know say better opponents dey for front where they wait for him. American 9th seed Taylor Fritz still manage get himself, you understand, where be say in a person where they because he still don't qualify. So if it likely be the person where Djokovic go meet for quarterfinals, but then like they say, all things being equal, not be so they take B for tennis. When would they permutate say this person go qualify? You feel surprised say on that day where they think say this person go win. Now one small person where they don't even get better ranking, now him go do the shock. Well, American 9th seed, where they call and say his name now Taylor Fritz, instead inside, and he said in a prospect to meet Djokovic for the quarterfinals after he cruised past Peru's Juan Pablo Virales in 6-1, 6-2, 6-2 success. Fritz will be one of the 4 American players to go through on Wednesday as a host nation in the look for first home victory since Andy Roddick in 2003. Well, that one I'm making the wish because they lost to the Apple. Then 10th seed Francis Tiafoe will win in straight set against Austria's Sebastian Hoffner, but 14th seed Tommy Paul had to fight back from 2 sets down to beat Russia's Roman Saufilin. Big 7 youngster Ben Shelton edged a tough first set against 2020 champion Dominic Thiem before the Austrian will fight back to come get him ranking. We could enter into waiting the women they do because it's no easy too. As men they knock them there, women they knock them there because 2023 result don't they show say what a man can do, a woman can do better. Caroline Wozniacki, una go remember her name now. Caroline Wozniacki, now former world number 1. You understand? They say she beat Petra Kvitova, but it no easy. While Iga Swiatek and Coco Gauff moved to the next round. And Carolina claimed the biggest win of her fledgling comeback by beating 11th seed Petra Kvitova to reach the U.S. Open round 3rd round. Former world number 1 Webby Wozniacki, who retired in 2020 and had since had 2 children, and come back 7-5, 7-6, 7-5 yesterday night to win. The human say na dream for her. I say e no easy. The person wey don go, will I say sabbatical retirement, come back, they beat 7th seed player. Wow, e no easy. Earlier top seed Iga Swiatek and 6th seed Coco Gauff underline potentials and credentials to show say, guy, say this tournament will not come here to come mark number, even though say money they to collect, but then we definitely won't collect the big prize because defending champion Swiatek beat Australian Daria Seville 6-3, 6-4. While 19-year-old American Gauff, where would they think say she could be the next either Serena and Venus put together, but then they say na longevity na go determine how that one go take both. She managed win 6-3, 6-2 against Russian teenager Mira Andreeva. And Wozniacki joined them in 3rd round after an impressive performance against longtime rival Kvitova, also 33 in her only 3rd tournament back. After Czech Kvitova served 2 match points when serving at 5-4. Wozniacki show her trademark grit to take a fourth opportunity in the third break. After she don't steal the victory, she became very, very emotional for her cheer as the crowd for Otta Ashe Stadium showed appreciation. E no easy when you see person wey don dey there before they do am. Where can't go born 2 children, can't come back. Well, she said being out there for this kind of night, now something where she could cherish for a very, very long time. And then to call even make her say to beat world number 11, make am dey very, very special. Said the two-time finalist what we talk about was Wozniacki, who won a sole major title in 2018 Australian Open 3 years ago. If you had asked me, I don't think I was ever going to play on one of these courts again. Now what she talk, not be talk, now she quote. It feels pretty incredible to be out there winning and a match like this. Well, still talking about tennis, when I tell and say, and the victories for Swiatek and Gauff keep them on pair to cruise to potential meet in quarterfinals, because as it is so, they don't separate the young girls from the real mamas. Then wait there for year. People will get the Ngabasi to go every way down to the finals. Poland Swiatek is looking to become the first woman to defend a U.S. Open title since American Serena Williams won a hat-trick titles from 2022. From 2012. The world number 1 will play Slovenia's Kaja Jovan on Friday for a place in the last 16. She said it wasn't easy, but said she dey happy. Said she tried to play a game as it take day, playing aggressively with lot of intensity and power. And that one didn't make him enter that third round. And so Swiatek take talker. Gauff, 19-year-old Gauff on the other side, they talk say looking for her first major single titles that to fight back to see off German qualifier Laura Schiebmann in the first round, but produced an impressive display in a second round match to progress. Andreeva, 16, has enjoyed an incredible rise in recent months, reaching the last 16 of the Australian Open and Wimbledon to find a way climb from 293 in the world in December to 62nd. Now, that's why they thought say for sports, guy, all you need to do now, just keep your head down. Be disciplined. That thing where you define, you could definitely get them, because as you they train, they put in the effort. Now so others they train. Still they talk about waiting they happen now for tennis. Just they give an update as it they happen for tennis. They say Gauff will play Belgium's Ellis Martins for a place in the last 16. Martins, 32 seed, overcame 2022 Australian Open runner-up Daniel Collins of the United States. 3-6, 7-6, 9-7, 6-1. That's how we think they take rule for them. And quickly more, we just touchlight a little bit, come up for tennis. We will still definitely come back, because we never talk anything about the defending champion where be Alcaraz. But Mook just enter the tell and say, football activity is still there. And then with the transfer window where they close anytime soon, we need to talk about some things where they happen for football, players where won't move, and clubs where they make out big money signings to lure players. And then the Carabao Cup where they play yesterday and day before yesterday. And they say Chelsea needed, that is the Holy Ghost fire campaign in order to beat Wimbledon. This one a team where they say then there's 63 places in between. Yet Chelsea managed to beat these people 2-1. Now to wonder whether this kweke will they here for Chelsea, whether that's something where go they continue, I've been as so it go be. And quickly more just tell us they win that match. They narrowly win the match 2-1, but other teams too been play that match yesterday. And then talking about Chelsea and their transfer program this time around, you get players with the one sign Cole Palmer from Man City, the person who scored the first goal for Man City for that their Europa Cup where they played the other day. But then that to know whether not to just sign players, that be the issue. By the time West Chelsea go sign that player now, they go bring all their total signing from this year. You understand? From this transfer window to about 400 million pounds, and we begin to wonder now money now be the issue. But still on transfer window, Moguna turn and say, well, not only Chelsea now play for the weekend, because other teams been play. Harrogate and these people then been play, and that match ended 8-0 in favor of Blackburn. And then Nottingham Forest and Burnley, that one are two teams where they for waiting they call them for Premiership. Burnley win that match 1-0 away for Nottingham Forest in place. And then Sheffield United and Lincoln City play 0-0, while Chelsea will tell us they've been play 2-1 against Wimbledon. And then we still they talk about Doncaster and Everton, where Everton go Doncaster go beat 2-1 for their place. And then in transfer international records, we tell us say our clubs don't spend well over $6.5 billion dollars this time around for transfer all over. And that one a record as it happened, where we they see record breaking for Moses Caicedo, 115 million moved to Chelsea, where break transfer record. Well, a lot of things they happen. They said the previous record where they've been set for 2019, now when clubs spend a collective 6.51 billion compared to the 6.56 billion where they don't spend this time around, according to Transfer Market. And where we talk about transfer, we talk about Al Ittihad for Saudi Arabia. Then they said they prepare 118 million pounds for Liverpool Mo Salah to see whether the guy go fit come their place. But even though say the man dey 31-year-old, but then I know just say Liverpool go want sell their player. Liverpool boss Jurgen Klopp say him dey very, very angry. Say things like this they happen when league don't start. How can teams like this go come begin dey unsettle players where they? Tottenham Hotspur and they consider to see whether they go fit sign Crystal Palace England forward, will be Eberechi Eze, will be 25 years. After a move for Nottingham Forest, what do they call him? Breman Johnson. That one no get head. And then we see the talk say Manchester United want to sign midfielder before the transfer deadline with Fiorentina's Morocco's international Sefion Amrabat, will be 27 years old. Tottenham, they consider to see whether they go fit do one or two things, but then they do well as things did not start. Manchester United have also contacted Tottenham over the deal for the 28-year-old Denmark midfielder will be Pierre Højbjerg. Bayern Munich, they look to see whether they go fit sign 28-year-old Fulham midfielder João Paulinho before the season they close. Same thing on term Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich, they said to offer 50 million for Paulinho and have turned to Portugal International because they doubt if they go fit get Chelsea's 24-year-old Trevor Chalobah. Borussia Dortmund, still for German Bundesliga, don't reach a verbal agreement to sign Southampton and Germany defender Amel Bella, 21, on loan with an option to buy. Still on transfer. Inter Milan, they look to see whether they go fit get Tottenham 26-year-old French midfielder will be Tanguy Ndombele, who spent last season on loan for Napoli. Still on transfer. Wolves don't make initial 25 million euro, 21.5 million bid for Strasbourg 19-year-old French midfielder, will be Habib Diarra. But they never get to receive any response from the French Ligue 1 club. Luton Town, well, they don't lose matches. The last one where they just lose now to Chelsea. They said they want package their team so that it go there very, very strong. And they said they want buy 21-year-old English defender will be Tanguy Mangi from Manchester United. Nottingham Forest said that they're closing on a deal to take 22-year-old England winger Callum Hudson-Odoi from Chelsea. Sheffield United, they lead the race to sign Manchester City under-21 midfielder James McTeague, 21, for a second loan spell at the club after spending last season for Bramall Lane. And Al Ittihad have sounded out their intent for the 24-year-old French defender Ibrahima Konaté from Liverpool over a possible move. This one where Al Ittihad don't collect Salah. Now they don't look for defender. We begin to wonder whether waiting they get now just to make Liverpool naked. But then Arsenal don't agree 17.5% sell on clause for the 35 million deal that took place for the place of Folarin Balogun to move to Monaco. And then sometimes when they talk about this thing, I don't know whether if you get the idea then. They say players go there, say they won't get new club, they won't move to new club. Club no one agree release them, and the next thing they go say they know they play. Now waiting be the case where they for this Randall Kulani, where they play for Frankfurt, but he won't move go what they call him PSG. And the young man don't refuse to train. Entered Frankfurt striker Colin Muani has told club he will not train as he tries to force a move to Paris Saint-Germain. This kind of things, I don't know whether clubs go now need to begin to insert this kind of clause inside contract. Say, guy, anytime you contracted to us and we need you to play match, it no matter whether they carry 1 billion, won't come by you, guy. That your contract, you must see until the end, because all these kind of things to me, it don't really make sense. And quickly, Mo, we just touch light on then our next story. Before we talk about waiting they happen for Australia Open when it has to do with the defending champion. Quickly, over the weekend, the Panasa Scrabble tournament being held for Lagos for Lekki Orchid Hotels over the weekend there. And players from all over the world, America, Liberia, other parts of African countries, they may really come to Lagos to come show their skills, to come show, say, guy, even though say Nigeria is the number one playing nation for Scrabble, but then they won't come here, can't tell the number one playing nation, say, guy, we get waiting it take to do what? To win Scrabble tournament where Nigeria they host, but not be the case as it may be, because the game, 25 games that they play over 4 days, and at the end of it all, Now, 4 Nigerians now make them to the finals, to the semi-finals, and the 4 Nigerians will make them to the final. In the order where they make them to the final, number 1 was Adeyemi Adeosun, and number 2 was Wellington Jigere, former African, 2-time African champion and former world champion, and number 3 was John Ayedu, and number 4 was Victor Godwin. Those 4 now make them to the semi-final of the Panasa African Championship. That is the first time where Africa, they host Africa for Nigeria when it has to do with Panasa, because this event now the very first event, and it gets so many sponsors because we been get the youth event and then the senior event. And the youth event been get 2 categories where they get under 15 and under 19. And the prize money for those under 15 and under 19 was $500 and a starter kit for Scrabble and then a laptop. Then the under 19 was $1,000, a starter kit, and then a trophy to go with. And then for the main event, where we say two Nigerians eventually played the final. And the person of Wellington Jigere and Godwin Victor now then played the finals to go home with $5,000. That was what they were battling for. And we saw a lot of words, display of words on the board. A lot been they happen for this. That is, if you be Scrabble person who loves this game of Scrabble, and you know they for Lagos over the weekend, that means say you really miss. And then at the end of it all, Godwin Victor emerged the champion. That's the trophy there. Emerged the champion with $5,000 after he beat Wellington Jigere 3-2 for the finals. It wasn't an easy one, but then waiting at the see on our screen now the rundown of the teams, the players, and the countries where they place. Uganda been there, Nigeria been there, Ghana been there, Cameroon been there, South Africa, and Gambia, a whole lot from Africa. Quickly, we could just tell us, well, we don't get much time. Definitely, next week, we could definitely bring down enough more story on what would they do for here. Every Thursday on ABS TV, where they bring down actions as they happen world over. You don't get sports we know they talk about here. All we need to do is say, you just get down, doing one sport. Tomorrow, we'll definitely go remember you. I still remember Ajulu Chukwuka. We say next week Thursday, we will definitely come do them again. I don't work out, unado.
Why Junction drop?
Enter 2000.
Hey, wahala. Keke, I don't see where you carry me go London or now. Why Junction here?
2000 because this is where I get my tax money from.
I don't want to be taxed. Who they pay tax?
I used to pay state government tax every month.
Hey.
You know they pay tax.
Wetin be tax, I beg?
Well, I used to pay state government tax every month. This money they pay me now, I will come on my tax money from. Because that tax what would they pay. And that money government they use, they develop our state so that our state will be like another state. I enter 1.5, let's go. Because the government has reduced our money to 10,000 naira. Let's go. 1.5.
Now wow.
May you try to pay your tax. So.
My people, una don't hear am now. Now today I dey hear this one. Me I get boutique where I dey sell something. He said when you pay your tax, the government will beautify our state and the roads and infrastructural development will come into our state. Make we try the pay tax. As for me, once I get to my shop, I will head straight to the tax office to clear myself so that our state will better. Because better soup na money kill am o.
This message is from Anambra Broadcasting Service, ABS.
Anambra State Ministry of Education organizes
First annual Anambra State Solution Teachers Bootcamp
1,500 teachers back to classroom for one whole week.
from 3rd to 9th of September 2023.
Opening ceremony
6th September 2023, time 10 a.m.
Venue
ETF Hall, Chukwuemeka Odumegwu Ojukwu University, Igbariam.
Chief Post,
Mr. Governor, Professor Charles Chukwuma Soludo,
Chairman of the occasion.
Chief Dr. I.J. Agowo, also of Gobuswe of Nebo,
Introductory notes.
Chief Oster Chidoka OFR, Iko Bosi, former Federal Minister of Aviation,
Keynote speaker
Professor Mafus A. Adedibeti, Vice Chancellor, Aman Pateki University,
lead paper presenter.
Dr. Kingsley Tochukwu Ude, Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice, Enugu State.
Royal Father of the Day.
His Majesty Igwe Nnemeka Alfred Achebe Abogidi Obi of Furniture.
Featuring
Science,
technology,
engineering,
arts,
and mathematics. One whole week of intensive workshop and hands-on experience to ignite your passion for teaching.
best in pedagogical skills, ICT coding, robotics training, and the secrets of effective classroom management.
Unleash your potentials in sessions of flipped classroom, conflict resolution, and leadership skills that will elevate your teaching game to new heights.
Convener,
Professor Ngozi Chukwute, Commissioner for Education, Anambra State. Be there, be inspired, and be a solution-driven teacher.
Niger people way.
Nonsense.
Niger people way.
Just be focused, that's all.
You're such a beautiful lady, I must say. I'll surprise you.
I don't want any surprise from you because you think what?